take you back.
Tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Man, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Energetic, and tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on DNA Radio 93.7.
I got to let her know, Daddy ain't never gonna leave. You know I want you, girl, for all eternity. Now I got to let her know, Daddy ain't never gonna leave. You know I want you, girl, for all eternity. Girl, when I first kissed you, and I realized it was meant to be, and I realized you are the one that God sent to me. Loving you, girl, said I'm loving you, girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? This is your boy, DJ Energetic, man, and I have a special guest with me today. And everybody listening to the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular with DJ Energetic, I got the famous, wonderful Miss over here, Rockell! Rockell, baby! So let's get into it. So the funny thing is, me and her were just talking a little bit off screen and stuff like that. And we were talking about basically she was born in my neck of the woods over here in Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island, Port Jeff. What's going on? What's good?
That is so dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was telling somebody that too. I'm like, man, that's amazing, because it's like a lot of talent come from out here, but not a lot of people really, you know what I mean? Like, really take a minute and really know that as well. But you were born in Staten Island too, my second home.
Yeah, I was
raised.
I was raised in Staten Island. It says everywhere that that I was born in Staten Island, but I was born in Port Jeff, raised in Staten Island, and I was in Texas for a big chunk of my life too. So I'm kind of everywhere, you know.
That's ill. That's dope. So why don't you get? I want to know basically, because I saw something really dope about you. You got discovered. Because not a lot of artists get discovered singing. You know what I mean?
I did. Yeah, I got discovered singing. I was in a bar, and a friend of mine had to step out for a moment. She asked me to cover for her, so I did. The DJ he put on some "Killing Me Softly" by the Fugees. I happened to kind of sing a little bit like her, and like Lauryn Hill, and I was singing, and someone came up to me and asked me if I wanted to audition to be a background singer, that they were working on an album. I said, sure. You know, of course, I never thought anything was going to come of it, you know, that, you know, I just kind of thought they were hitting on me, you know, being whatever, you know.
And, I definitely understand in this game, man.
And, you know, and a couple of days later, they came around and scooped me up and brought me to the studio, House of Flavor in Staten Island. And I auditioned. I sang "Killing Me Softly." I sang "Little La Bouche." 2 weeks later, I got a production deal, and 2 weeks later, I got my first record deal.
Oh my God!
And the rest
so bang, 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 like really quick. So it just like happened.
Yes, yeah, my little Cinderella story.
So did you ever like go back and you really think about it? Like, wow, imagine if I didn't go there, or like, what would I be doing? You know? Like,
you know, I do. It's a little Cinderella story. I was kind of, you know, just not living my best life. I was living on the street. Don't say, oh, you know, because if I wasn't there at that point, I wouldn't be here in my life now. You know, it was, kind of amazing. You know, as they say, you know, God places you exactly where you need to be. And apparently, you know, I wanted to be an attorney growing up, and apparently I was not meant to be an attorney. Apparently I was meant to use the gift that he gave me. And that's why, you know, he placed me in all those, you know, places that, you know, moments in time that I needed to be in to be there. So, you know, to make me where I am now.
You know what's amazing though? What's amazing though is that you were first inside the Canada charts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a lot of people know that, like, your first single.
Yeah, number 1 and number 3 with my first 2 records. And I think it was number 8 somewhere along the lines. But yeah, Canada popped it off for me.
How was that, basically just seeing yourself in the international market first, like really going big in the international market? Was it just like, whoa?
You know, it's so funny. You know, we were talking about this the other day. I don't think I ever realized just, you know, the magnitude of what being Rockell and being a singer really was, for me at that point. I don't think I ever, going into Canada and seeing all these signs like Rockell rocks and we love you. And, I don't think I got it. I don't think I understood it, not
That's
wanting to
so
be a singer, not
cool.
thriving, not wanting to be a singer my whole life. I didn't get it, so when it was thrown into my lap, and then here I was on stage and with all these signs and the success that I had instantly, I didn't understand it. I I didn't get it at all, so when I got booed, I definitely understood it.
What?
Well, I I
Oh, I
got
didn't
booed
hear
for,
that.
I got booed for a good reason. It was also in Canada. One of the
What?
first handful of shows that I did there. I guess because of my vocals with "I Fell in Love," they didn't expect me to be white. So when I sang there, I got booed because they thought I was lip syncing. They didn't think that I was actually Raquel, and I had them shut off the music, and I had to sing a cappella, and I was like, yeah, it's me. I'm this little
Did
white
they
girl.
lose? Did they lose their mind?
As soon as I did it live, I was like,
I could see that. I could see that Staten Island.
as soon as I gave that little soul from the bottom of my belly, they were like, oh,
You know what's funny though? I could see you being like, all right, you know what?
I was mad.
With that Staten Island flavor. You know what? Y'all don't think it's me? Cut it off. And all of a sudden you get one off. Ooh, everybody was like, wait a minute, this is her for real?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, this whole
that's
5'3"
amazing.
white girl, like, just shut it off for a second. Hold on, just hold on a second. Just wait a minute. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
And so when
amazing.
I did it, they lost their mind, and I gained the respect and the love, and then every time I went back to Canada, anywhere in Canada, I always just got so much love, and it's still one of my favorite places, to this day, to go and perform. And there's some funky house heads out there, so
No, I believe it. I love Canada.
party. They love
Toronto,
to
when we
party,
was at
so it's a
Toronto,
good time.
yeah, I
It's
love Canada.
Yeah.
No, no, I do because like when you go there, they love hip hop so much. Like as well as freestyle, they love hip hop so much, and they have such a different type of respect when you go into when you go into those places for like the artists in the U.S. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's why I love Canada. Shout out to Canada, always supporting, always showing love. But
Absolutely. Shout out to Canada, no doubt.
so now, right, that single starts going good. How did you guys come up with the? I'm gonna say, how did you guys really come up with the record with Dreaming? Like,
Um,
how did that come to
it
fruition?
wasn't, In a Dream was not my record initially. So there was a few, Randy Galaxy wrote the record.
Okay.
He was out in the West Coast in Canada. He had a few other
Okay.
artists that he had do the record, and unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of distribution for the record, so it went nowhere. It didn't travel too far.
Really?
It was kind of stuck. Josette had the most success with it, but again, she kind of got stuck with it in California. No distribution. She didn't. It didn't go anywhere. So Corey Robbins of Robbins Entertainment. He said, I like this record. BMG was the distribution at the time. They were international. So he said, I'm going to pick it up. He gave it to me. I didn't particularly care for the record.
There you go. You know what's funny? And I always tell every artist, I'm like, it's always that record that you get that you're like, yeah, all right. And all of a sudden it just starts going up and up and
Yeah.
up and
Well,
up.
I didn't.
And you're like, are you kidding me? No, you see, like you had like that thing. Like you probably were like, really, like it went like that, because that's like a record band. Like every time they came on the radio, everyone, that's Raquel, you're Raquel, you're Raquel. I was like,
Yeah.
energy, I was like, oh my goodness.
I
You know what I'm saying?
so I Fell in Love was a vocal house record, and
Mm-hmm.
I always loved. I consider myself a vocalista. I love
Mm.
the vocalist. The Whitney Houston and even Ariana and Christina and Mariah, Celine. I love a vocalist. I love vocals.
Are those some people that inspired you? Like, what inspired
Oh,
you?
of course. Well,
I
I grew
mean,
up,
no.
listening to Christian music, so Amy Grant and Sandy Patty, also big
Mm.
vocals, and of course, listening to you know Whitney and Mariah, growing up, I tried to emulate those vocals, listening to that, and I could, and I can't say I could match them, but I sure as hell tried. And I do believe that it
But
helps
you
me.
got an excellent voice. Stop playing with
Thanks.
yourself.
I
You got a great voice. Let's just stop playing. Like I know Mariah got that, but no, when in the gym, my heart, I was like, oh man, she got pipes on that one right there.
Thanks. I believe that it helped me grow as a vocalist, as an artist, listening to all of them, and just on repeat over and over and over again, all the the albums, back in the day, and listening to In a Dream how it came to me. I didn't get it. I'm a little bit younger than a lot of the freestyle artists. I'm on the younger side. Me and Susie are the two youngest. And I didn't listen to freestyle music back in the day. My brother, well, growing up, in the church, I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music.
Oh, that's what they called it. Okay.
And my brother was, 9 years older, so I listened to Chicago and Foreigner and Journey, and I listened to a little bit different. So I didn't know the Cynthias. I didn't know Johnny O and Stevie. I didn't know that freestyle music. So when they gave me Josette's version of In a Dream, I was like, that's not my thing.
So basically, was it more kind of like when you heard it, you not saying that it turned you off kind of, but was it kind of like, yeah, this is going to be a little bit different because this is like, like what's weird is I see with a lot of artists, right, when they make the hit record a lot of times, sometimes it's just like an idea they just never really thought of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it. I never really saw myself doing that record. I saw myself doing like a Deborah Cox house record. I saw that. I grew up in the New York clubs. In the city. I didn't hear myself doing a freestyle record. I didn't care for the vocals that I was hearing. I was like, that's not me. That's not what I see myself doing. Now that I fell in love, and that's got a real soulful ha to it. I didn't hear, I didn't see myself doing that. And funny story I did a show in Detroit, and I flew back, and they were supposed to meet me at the airport to go record it. My manager at the time, and Joe Tucci, who had recreated the record for me, I was supposed to go in and record it when I landed. I didn't want to do the record. So when I landed, I hopped to another terminal, took a cab home, and went home, and I went to sleep. So they were supposed to pick me up at the airport, and I wasn't there. So a couple hours later, they tracked me down at home and banged on my door. I went to Joe Tucci's house in my pajamas. And I think I recorded the record in, record time, under an hour, I think. And then that was that. It was probably my biggest record to date. And that's how In a Dream kind of came about.
So basically, you were performing, you did something, and then they woke you up, and they told you got to do some vocals, and then you came to the studio, you did vocals.
Okay.
Wow, and then you went to sleep, right? And the first thing you think is like, all right. Now
I was like, I'm not recording this. I don't want to do this record. And I bounced out, and then they found me, and they were like, yes, you are. And I was like, okay, here I go.
When you heard it, did you think it was a hit, or would you just basically?
I didn't want to. I hated it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't like the vocals. I didn't think it was challenging enough as a record. I didn't understand freestyle music. I didn't understand the love that people had for freestyle music. And again, I didn't understand the genre. Like I never heard of it before. I didn't know.
So more
I was a house baby.
So kind of like the beat, not saying it confused you, but it kind of like turned you off.
Well,
as an artist,
I never heard it before. I never heard of freestyle music before, even though I was in New York, right?
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't hear it before.
Listen, at the end of the day, sometimes people just don't hear something. Like there's a lot of things that people put, me being a DJ, they go, oh, energetic, listen to this. And I hear it. I'm like, and they're like, oh, but it's hot over here. And you're like, really? You're like, I have never even heard this. I'm in the club right now and I'm DJing, and you just gave me something that we have never even heard of. But you're saying that it's getting big over here, you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that being a DJ and listening to a lot of music. Sometimes they'll give me a song and they'll be like, "Yo, this is hot in Atlanta," and you're like,
I don't get
"Oh,
it.
really?"
I
Like,
didn't get it, you know. But I mean, I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do this record because it did open the door for me and the love that I have for freestyle music now. You know, it did. It opened up the door. I do love it. There are so many songs that are just, you know, part of my repertoire that I get to listen to every day now. You know, I so many friends, my freestyle family, you know, that I have now is awesome. Friends, family, fans, you know, it's just amazing. So I did get that out of the record. It did make me, you know, so there's that too. And I do love the record now. I love performing it. I love performing it not just for my fans, but with my fans. You know,
oh,
it's something that is a real treat every time, and it just seems to be getting better and better.
nah, it's amazing. I honestly, man, being young and was listening to that record, my mom played all the time. So I would hear it on the radio. I would hear it when we would literally go
It's
out all the time.
generational,
Energy, my heart.
generational.
Yeah, man. So it's still amazing. It's still hitting what? It's still hitting crazy streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
Millions of streams on Spotify. And that's a different era. Not even a CD era. It's a different era.
Yeah, I say it all the time that freestyle music and In a Dream is definitely generational. I get the love from, you know, the older generation, the grandmas now, you know, and then their grandbabies. You know, it's all over social media with the In a Dream challenge. You know, the young ones now, the grandbabies, the 5, 6 years old. The teenagers, you know, boogieing, getting down, you know, dancing to In a Dream, and you know, let me just pop in really quick and just say that we are introducing the In a Dream 2025 version with some nasty remixes. And so
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I have been blessed that they laid their hands on it, and we went in and I got to go in recently and re-record all the vocals for it. So we got some 2025
Look
Rockell.
how happy she is right now. 25 years of a record. That's insane.
Yeah, so I went in, re-recorded all the vocals, got some new producers, some new talent to show some love, and there's
Uh-oh.
going to be a
Here we
couple of
go.
mixes released coming soon. Yeah, we just kind of did a little. If you go on social today, we did a little drop of.
Ooh, exclusive.
So yeah, I'm excited.
We just got an exclusive.
Right.
So that's something new that you're gonna be working on, huh?
Yeah,
That's something new. Okay.
on it. It's been my manager's baby. It was kind of, he said, you know, we needed to do something. He kind of twisted my arm over the past couple of months to go in and re-record it. My vocals have grown so much over the past couple of years. I really feel like I'm at the top of my vocal game right now, and it's fun. And I know the record, and I went in, re-recorded it, and yeah, just we were at the Winter Music Conference, the EDMAs this past weekend, and was able to perform it a couple of times. For the radio stations that, you know, at the beginning, there's a pre-party, we did it there. And then we had a rooftop party. And it was a lot of fun to perform it live for the first time. And so we did a little leak today on social. So yeah.
Ooh, that's
It's
great.
good.
That's really good to hear.
Response. So I'm excited about the release.
Oh, that's really great to actually hear. And then you came out too, after that record, you came out with another record, right? 1999, When
Oh,
I'm Gone?
a couple. When I'm Gone, What You
Yeah.
Did to Me, Tears, I Love You.
Tears. Yeah.
Came out with a few, yeah. It's
That's
the 25th anniversary this year of my second album. My second complete album is 25 years this year. So
Because the first album the first single was When Canada.
yeah, well, my first full album came out in '97. My
97, yeah, 97, yes.
2000, my second full album came out. And so 25 years this year, someone reminded me recently. Yeah. So
Doesn't it go so quick? Doesn't it go so quick? And then when you're up on that stage, man, and you just see everybody and all the fans. You know what's so cool though, man, is when you built something, right? And you built something that is so amazing, and you still see it like today, and you're just like, wow, this is just amazing.
yeah, it's, it's a blessing, to be able to be doing what I do and loving it so much after all these years. I get to sing for a living. Um, I raised my family. I get to eat off of my vocals, and just, I feel pretty blessed. I'm living my best life now,
Absolutely.
and yeah, so it's kind of cool. I like it. I'll take it.
Nah, absolutely, definitely. I could definitely see that. That's so to me, man. When you hit 25 years, you're probably like, well, like 25 years I've been doing it, and then the record's still relevant. There's so many records that are gone now in the wind that you don't even see anymore. So I want to know. You're coming up. You sit down with the 25 with the dream. Now that you gave a little snippets and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
How is like, how do you feel about now you're gonna be going back on doing that? Like now you got new material now, because it seems like you're very excited about it, generated, and very just ready to get this going.
I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. So, a couple years ago, I kind of went through a real rough patch in my life, and needed to kind of take a step back. Um, and
Really?
yeah, a little domestic situation that I
Oh,
had to overcome. And now I'm living my best life for the first time in a really, really long time. So, given the opportunity to still breathe, given the opportunity to still sing, given the opportunity to still, touch those people who have, supported me, with my music, and through all these years, it's really nice to be able to touch that stage again, and just be like, here I am. And it's, over the past couple of months. I did my first show back in a long time. The beginning of February, my manager put together, the Can't We Try tour. So my third single was Can't We Try, with my partner. And so now we've got, I think, I don't even know, 15 shows this year. And it started off in February, my first show back, and the response that I got. I took most of last year off, just to kind of regroup and get strong,
yeah,
and
but that's what real artists do, man. We go in, you guys go in, you guys recoup, then you guys come out 10 times stronger.
that's what I did, and to have the love and the support that I have from my fan base. And I feel like I got more fans and more support, than I've ever had before. It just feels great. I was able to tell my story, and the response that I got was incredible. It was really cathartic. I was, so touched by the strength that I was given, from my fans, and a lot of people reached out saying, "Thank you so much for telling your story. It made me strong. It made me walk out. It gave me the strength to do this, and here I am." And I always tell my fans, anybody out there, if you need, if you just need to tell your story, if you just need some help, if you just need me to help you get out, I'm here. I had my manager was the one who saved my life and got me out. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here today. You know,
Really?
oh my gosh, yeah, it was pretty
Wow.
serious. So I'm super blessed. I stay strong every day, and yeah, so, it's been an incredible blessing. My story, my truth. I'm here for those who need it as well, and yeah, so standing on my own 2 feet again, and being able to smile, and having everyone say I look my best, I sound my best, I look happy. They love to see that smile on my face again, and I look my happiest, I sound my best, and yeah, so it's been a real whirlwind, a real dream, and now to come back out with some new music, and be able to say ta-da, it's pretty awesome. It definitely
Nah,
is.
I love it, man. It's a story. It's a real, like, story, the comeback story. So just to
Absolutely.
see, like, just like, with Brief and everybody who's like listening and watching everything and listening, they're probably like, wow, man, this girl lived an amazing life. Like, she got discovered out of nowhere. Not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, you don't, it still blows my mind. You just don't have that in these days of time. Like, you really have a strong story. Like, nowadays, young artists, they got to go online, they got to go pitch their stuff. A lot of them don't get seen, like, a lot of them don't get seen face to face.
Right, right. Yep. It's my own little Cinderella story, but the good thing about it is now is I feel like there are more opportunities nowadays with the social media. The outlets are bigger. You have more opportunities, I think, now than you ever did before.
Yeah, I
With
agree.
all the social media outlets that you have, and you can pretty much sing anything and anybody at any time, day or night. And but I'm definitely blessed to have had the opportunity to be found the way that I did. And yeah, here I am, and I'm back again. So it's kind of cool.
So, do you have anything to basically say to your fans, like right now, the people that are watching? Because they're like very generated up, so they like, you're coming back, you're strong, you're ready to do this. Because honestly, you said a lot of inspirational stuff today as well, talking about, you basically had an issue and stuff like that, came out of it, now you're 10 times stronger. You can actually see it, actually, when, like, in there, like, you can see, like, oh man, I'm ready to go, this is my year, I'm ready to take it over. So I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. But that's cool to hear the Dream Records, but I know you got something you got something quietly right now going to be coming out real soon. I can
Yeah,
already see it. I can already see it. That's why I'm like hyped as a
I
fan.
yeah, I just like to tell those, when you feel like you got nothing left, you have something left. You have something left. You have that little bit inside of you. I didn't think I had anything left, and I was blessed enough to have that somebody to say you have something left. Just when I was struggling and down and out, and you know just lost. I My manager picked me up. I stood up, and in those times where I was struggling the most, you just have to. I say it that back then I was like I got nothing, but now I could say yeah I had a little bit left. I actually went in and just finished writing another song that we're going to be releasing later on in the year as well, which is I think going to be a strong force with a lot of women, and it'll show you.
Ooh. Ooh,
Yeah.
an empowerment record. I love it.
Left. It'll show you that you have the strength in you, and I think it's going to be a big powerhouse summer record this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be that record where you're just like, "Yeah, I got this." Like, put your hands in the air, like top down. Grab your girls. Let's do this.
That's
Yeah,
what I want to hear. Like,
it's,
I want to hear that.
you're not done yet. Make 2025 your year to thrive. And that's my motto this year. Yeah, I'm done with everybody. If you got a mouth of negativity, just kind of step aside, because it's like 2025. Let's make it a good year.
It is a good year. You're
It is.
here right now with us, right now in the spectacular.
Right.
Finally get to talk, and this is, to me, this is something really amazing, because it's like bringing back when I was younger, really listening to your music,
I love
and
that. I love
love
it.
it, love it. Generate your music has read again. Your music has reached generation. You know what I mean? From younger generations to older generations. So
Yeah.
that's what I love about it. And what I always loved about the club type music is always like, it's always a fun kind of music. It's not like what's going on a lot anymore, arguments, anything like that. Everybody's out there to have a good time, have fun, and it's positive. That's why I love freestyle, and I love, dance and all that, and pop as well. So let me
Yeah.
tell you something. It's been a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you.
You're amazing, and I really hope to bring you back, because I'm telling everybody right now that's watching, that's listening, I can't wait for you to give me I can't wait for them records to come out, because I'm gonna be playing them like crazy.
I'll make sure he gets them out to you in a dream
Ooh.
2025, and this summer We're going to be releasing, I can't say a whole lot about it, but it is going to be a top-down summer jam. It is going to carry on to the fall. It is going to be a record that you do not forget. And when you feel like you have nothing left, you got something left. And just be that somebody for somebody else. And don't forget, you got you know? So let's carry on. You know what I mean? My name is Rockell. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome, and you are welcome here anytime, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. To everybody out there, definitely thank y'all for listening to the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular with your boy, DJ Energetic, and with the legendary Rockell. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Take you back.
Tune into the Sunday Freestyle Spectacular every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
I can be clingy, just a bit needy. Oh, but if I gave you my heart, would you still love me endlessly? With no regrets, no holding back. Would you still love me endlessly? 'Cause I still want love, real love. Say you'll never leave my side.
I'm in my own lane, I ain't trying to do shit. This shit feel like I just won a championship. Acknowledge me while I'm in my reign. Cause in this game, I came to bring pain. I'm in my own lane, I ain't trying to do shit. This shit feel like I just won a championship. Acknowledge me while I'm in my reign. Cause in this game, I came to bring pain. I'm in my own lane, I ain't trying to do shit. This shit feel like I just won a championship.
Y ahora me escribes que te gustaría verme otra vez, but I don't know. Porque te veo feliz y ya no sé qué hacer. Porque quieres volver. So tell me you love me, porque me gustaría verte otra vez, but I don't know. Porque te veo feliz y ya no sé qué hacer.
If you should miss my face down here, if you can't see my smile, if you can't hear my voice down here, just know I'll be gone for just a while.